We should have 6 petals on our piece, and it should lay in a circle. Kind of like that when you lay it down. And I have 2 stitches left on the end that haven't been worked in. So you skip one and make a single crochet in that. And then you chain 1, pull that chain tight, then cut off 10 to 12 inches down the string. Pull that loop through. Okay, the next part we're going to do is the sewing. So we need to get a yarn needle or a large-eyed tapestry needle. And what we're going to do before I even thread that, I'm going to show you how this is done. Okay, I have this one. I have the right side of the shells, like the side we just done, facing this way. I have that facing on the outside, and that's to make it open up more. Now if you wanted like a closed rosebud, a little tighter and closed, then turn it the other way and go the way it curls. So if you want a closed rosebud, turn it this way. Fingernails catching on everything. And if you want an open rosebud, turn it so that this side's up. Okay, I've twirled it around, and on the back you would see the green foundation chain spiraling with the first tail and sticking out the middle, and then this last tail on the outside. Now I had us leave the pink longer for sewing, so we're going to take the last tail that we cut off. Zoom this in so you can see my tip when threading the needle. You take and you fold the yarn over the eye of the needle, pinch it between your thumb and pointer finger, slide it out, and take that eye of that needle and push down over top of that fold. And that's how you thread the needle. Zoom back out just a little bit. Okay, then you're going to take, and you want to make this, see it's at the top, we want it to come out the bottom, so just bring it up under that first chain stitch, just like that. Okay, now you want to make sure all your petals are in the positions you want it. Since this is a closed rosebud, it doesn't really matter because they're going to be tight. But if you have one, you want to space them out so that they fall. It's like one petal will fall in between the next two. Then you want to mess with it a little bit first. But since this is a closed rosebud, it doesn't matter that that happens. So just make sure your spiral's all lined up. My dog's tearing around the house. It's funny, you can hear the little thumpity thump of her feet. So if you're wondering what that noise is, it's just my doggy. Okay, so then you just take, the reason that I did the green, so that we can see that this is actually flat here. And you just take your needle and you run it under that foundation chain. I'm going to catch every wrap. See, there's, and go all the way across. Get these other tails out of the way. Okay. Okay, then you want to turn it a little bit and then go, maybe skip one and go back across the middle and make sure you go underneath all the layers of the wrap and back through. And then turn it a little. Go, skip one and go in the next one. And you do this all the way around. Then your last one you do, let's bring it up under all the green. There's one underneath there, we go. And we're back in the first one. Okay, now you want to find your other end, your pink one. Thread that through your needle too. Do them both at the same time if you can. Then you want to bring them back up right at the middle, so that your yarn's all coming out the middle. Do that with your green ones as well. And then you'll have these if you want to sew them onto a barrette or a pin back. Be all in one spot. I'm going to take it off the needle. Focus. There it goes. And what I like to do just for extra security is I'll just take them and tie them together. Okay, and now when you're looking at the front, it kind of looks squishy, so now you can just pull it out, shape it a little bit, play with it. And what you can do is, if you want to use a fabric stiffener or sparkly glue or something like that, and you can block it and let it get stiff so it'll stay in the position that you place it in. That's something you can do. What I always end up with is my last petal ends up straight behind the first one, and I don't like that. I like them to be a little off center, so you kind of have to mess with them a little bit, you know. And if you want to secure it a little more, you can just take one of these ends and draw it around a little tighter. But I think that's fine so far, the way it is. So there's the bud part of your flower, but now we want to add a leaf. And if you don't want to add a leaf yet and you want to do a cluster of flowers, you can, let me zoom out a little bit. You can take all the ones that you've done and cluster them first, sew them in position, and then add the leaves if you like. Okay. So now we're going to learn how to do the single leaf. I have another pattern for the double leaf. It's all in one piece. But for now we're going to do the single leaf. To make the leaf, the single leaf, we're going to make a chain of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to work back across the chain, going from your smallest to your largest stitch, and then back down to your smallest stitch again. So we're going to start with the slip stitch. Let me zoom in here just a little. Okay, some of you don't remember how to do these stitches, because this is going to be a sampling of all the basics here. So you go under the loop of your chain, catch a loop and draw up a loop, and then draw that loop through the one on your hook. That's a slip stitch. Now we're going to make a single crochet, insert, draw up a loop, turn over and draw through 2. That's your single crochet. Now we're going to make a half double. You yarn over, insert your hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. So that's a half double. Now we're going to do a double. Yarn over, insert your hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, and draw through 2. Now do 2 trebles. So you yarn over twice, insert your hook, draw up a loop, draw through 2 once, yarn over, draw through 2 twice, draw through 2 3 times. And that's why we call it a treble. And yarn over twice, And now we're going to go back into the same stitch, draw up a loop, draw through two, and through two. So now we got two treble crochets in one stitch. Now we're going to double crochet in the next stitch. That was yarn over, drop a loop, through two, and through two. Now we're going to half double. You yarn over, insert the hook, draw up a loop, draw through all three loops on the hook. Okay, now we're going to single. Let's insert the hook without yarning over, draw up a loop, and then draw through both loops on the hook. And then slip stitch in this last one. Okay, now we're going to chain one. Now what we're going to do, since this is half a leaf, we want to work down on this side. So we're going to go back across the chain space and turn it this way. And I'm going to go through the bottom loop only of the chain. Zoom in a little bit. And that first chain, it's a little tricky because there's that little twist in it. So we want to go through this part right there. And we're going to make a slip stitch. Draw the loop through and through the one on your hook.